are back with another jam-packed episode of Lunes Live. Your favorite compas got you covered with all of our NFL Week 8 takeaways. I know that we talked a little Chargers a couple of last Thursday when Gilbert and Vic, the producer, did a great job of sitting in the chair for Dan and I on What's Up Bolts, and obviously Eric and I jumped on from the car ride down to San Diego. So we definitely appreciate you guys for that one. But we'll talk a little bit about that. A new injury just hit the NFL moments ago. We'll get into that. Another injury hit a couple of hours ago. Is JJ ready, or will the Vikings make a trade? We'll get into all of that. We have some other games we want to get into, and obviously Vic will come in and we'll do some of that good stuff at the end like we usually do. All right, Gilberto, do you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yes, I do. It's spooky season. The Halloween is around the corner. It's on Friday, and for the first time, I actually care about dressing up because I'm a dad now, so I want to have my kid be involved with Halloween. So maybe I dress up tomorrow for four compas. I don't know. Is that a thing that we should do, Fernando?
What's he doing?
Uh, we are well. If I give you the reveal, then and we dress up tomorrow, then I don't know. I think I'm a spoiler. I'll wait till tomorrow. If you guys show up in costumes, I'll participate. But for the theme of
Dan's going to be
Halloween,
a coach.
Coach Dan, okay, he does that in real life, but sure, that works too. He has a double persona, and I can't wait to see Dan back. Is this like Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson? Is he coming back? Who the hell knows? Competitive reasons? I don't know. Let me know, Fernando. Is he coming back?
They were. It's like John Harbaugh said. It wasn't meant to. What did he say? It wasn't meant to dissuade. It was an honest mistake.
Oh yeah, honest mistake. Maybe there's no advantage to knowing, like the Bears didn't benefit with Tyler Huntley out there.
I saw your article on how Vegas was pissed off about that.
Yeah, but it worked out. I was Party was kind of thinking like, man, this could be ugly if the Bears win this game, and a lot of Raven bettors are pissed off. But it worked out. It was good karma, So shout out to the Bears for helping out the Ravens bettors. But we'll talk about them in a bit. For the engagement question of the week. Let me know which team is the scariest team in the NFL. I honestly don't know. It's one of those weird years where like I feel like anybody could win it. People want to say it's the Chiefs. People want to hype up the Broncos. People want to say it's the Lions or the Eagles. I honestly don't know. I think maybe no team is scary. I think any team could be beaten in the league right now. Well, maybe we're taking the Packers more seriously after they beat down Aaron Rodgers. Let me know in the comments. Scariest team in the NFL after week 8 of the season, which has one
Gilbert,
more game.
If we're being honest, like the Chiefs have a tough road. They play the Commanders tonight. I know everybody's gonna laugh at that and everything, but they still Terry McLaurin is back. Deebo Samuel's back. They have a good running game. Marcus Mariota with his legs could hurt them a little. I'm not saying that they're gonna win. I still think that the Chiefs are going to win that game, but that's going to be trouble. For the next 2 weeks, the next 6 weeks, Gilbert, after that, listen to this. At Bills, at Broncos, the Colts come there, at Cowboys on a short week on Thanksgiving night, the Texans come to Arrowhead, and then the Chargers come to Arrowhead. That's not an easy road, Gilbert. And they still have some tough games after that. I mean, they go to Tennessee. That's not bad. Well, okay, the Broncos come there, and then they go to the Raiders. So those 2 out of the last 3 aren't bad. But that ending is that middle of the road stuff is going to be very, very tough for the Chiefs. So I think, like you said, everybody's kind of beatable at this point.
Well, that's the thing. Well, the narrative is that the Chiefs are the best team in football. Even though they're 4-3, they haven't played tonight. They haven't played Monday Night Football. But everybody's already saying they're the best team. I'm looking at power rankings, throughout the league. Everybody has the Chiefs top 3, maybe number 1. If they're for real, that schedule should be a cakewalk. Maybe you lose 1 game, maybe you lose 2 games. But if you're losing 3 or 4, maybe the Chiefs are not all the way back like everybody's trying to make it seem. So we're gonna find out a bunch from them, in the coming weeks. But if you're that good, go and beat the Broncos twice. Go beat the Bills in Buffalo. Go flex your muscles.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Real quick, Gilbert, obviously, thank you to everybody who's in the chat right now. I love Tugun. Geez, sometimes you put some dark shit out there. But Cooper, thank you so much for joining us. Quick, very quick recap. Gilbert, I do definitely think that because people have been asking me lately if I think the Chargers are back. I don't know if they're completely back just because I think their defense still kind of struggled a little bit at times. Justin Jefferson still had 7 catches for 74 yards. And obviously, it just came out yesterday that Tarheeb still will be out for 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm guessing he won't be back until the bye week. So this little mini bye, and then they have 3 games in between and the bye week. So I'm pretty sure either that Jags game or the bye week. So we'll see what happens with that. But just in general, I thought when you have Khalil Mack on the field and you have Joe and with no snap count, no nothing, and you have Joe Alt on the field, that's a recipe for victory. The one thing I did like towards the end of the game, the Chargers did take out Joe Alt, and it was kind of like, okay, we're up. I wish they would have done the same thing with Herbert. I didn't like that Herbert was like there for those last snaps. I would have taken him out before that, but I think they did a really good job. I think the offense is very. I mean, for the offense to move the ball up and down, and I know people are saying that the Vikings offense isn't very good because of they lost their left tackle during the game, they lost their right tackle during the game, and then or didn't play during the game, and then but whatever. That doesn't matter. You have to beat who's in front of you. That's a good defense over there that the Vikings have. The Chargers were able to take it to them. Obviously, I do agree with what you said, Gilbert, and what you wrote about that. If that interception would have gone, that pick six goes the other way, it might have been a completely different game. I do agree with that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. They won. Um, they're going to get Deshaun Hand back. They're going to get Tarheeb Still back. They're going to get Omari and Hampton back. I think they're going to make a trade or two during the trade deadline. So I think they're going to make 1 or 2 moves to kind of bring in some players. But I think once they get Omarion back, once they get some of these players back, I think they will be doing well. Again, we always said, when do you want to have your bad stretch? You want to have your bad stretch at the beginning / kind of middle of that offense or the season. Where you want to be playing well is in November, and where you want to be playing excellent is in December. So the Chargers are going to have a tough road. These next 3 are very winnable games. They play at Tennessee. They come back for Sunday Night Football against the Steelers, and they go to Jacksonville. So all 3 can be had. They just need to play tough-nosed defense. They need to be able to get back to the way they were playing during that 3-game win streak. So I definitely think that the arrow is pointing up when it comes to this team, more so than the 3 or 4 games that they were missing Joe Alt.
Yeah, you mentioned my story, and I tried my best to give the Chargers full credit because it was a full performance. But
Yeah,
at the same time, it's like, how much can you take away from beating Carson Wentz? How much you take away from beating Carson Wentz, who had one good arm or was really injured?
yeah,
He went on IR, had a shoulder surgery, I think I saw today. He's out for the season. So when you look at that, it doesn't say too much. But the way I wrote in my story was like, sometimes you need an opportunity. Sometimes you need an opportunity to break the slump. Sometimes you got to capitalize on what's coming your way and make the most of it and never look back. And I get it. That nullified pick six in the first 3 or 4 minutes doesn't really matter in the scheme of things. But I think the Chargers needed a break. They caught the break. There wasn't a pick six. Justin Herbert's interception was erased immediately. Boom! They set the tone with Aranda Gadsden the second, who is becoming a quick star in the NFL. We'll find out in the coming weeks if he could keep it up. But for the past 3 weeks, this guy's been good. He's been hyped up. He's been delivering. Not just that. You make the most of it. Getting the touchdown right away. You're setting the tone defensively. They shut down Carson Wentz. Yeah, he's hobbled. He can't move around. He doesn't have a good arm. He's battling out there. But hey, what was the weakness for this defense the past month? The run defense. And they shut them down, I think, 30-something total yards. Aaron Jones back too. So great performance. So I think to me, they made the most of that opportunity. There was other areas too that I really liked. They're getting McConkey more involved. I know QJ has been disappearing, but when you need him, he'll get going again. You have Keenan Allen. And one more thing, Fernando, that I thought really, really paid dividends. Like, imagine if you're falling behind early to the Vikings and you're needing to ask Herbert to do more. Once Herbert built that lead, guess what? The running game opened up. I really like this 22 personnel where you have the two backs and Kimani Vidal doing well. Now imagine when Hampton comes back and you get to run what you wanted to do all along with Najee and Amarian. Maybe Vidal could continue it. He played great. I wrote my story pretty much done by the third quarter, but while I was writing, I'm like, man, what the hell is this personnel on the field? I should probably pay attention more to this. The game was out of hand by then, but bless you, but you get the blueprint for how you want to play the football or play football in the winter months. So to me, Justin Herbert could always bail you out. Justin Herbert could always build you a double-digit lead. But when it really matters, you want that old line to be nasty, set the run blocks, and let your guys in the backfield do the work. And that was perfect all around. So to me, they made the most out of opportunity that came early, and they never looked back. We'll see if they continue that moving forward.
As of right now, you might have to go to either Buffalo, New England, one of those places. You're gonna have to run the football. It's gonna be cold if you go to the playoffs, obviously. Or you could even be headed to Baltimore or Pittsburgh or whatever. But you're gonna need to run the football. Yeah, you're gonna need to run the football. So this is they finally brought this out. It had been a while. I was surprised they finally brought it out. Now they need to keep on moving along with it. But that's the thing. When you have the kind of weapons that the Chargers now have, you can run a lot of different things. And one guy that they really are starting to fall in love with is Trey Harris because of his blocking.
Yeah.
Because of his route. Like he's getting better as a route running. But that's what I was telling you. That's what I was saying, Gilbert. And that's what I told Dan the other day when we did a preview a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, what did Coach McGuigan say on the Hard Knocks when the Chargers were on with the Rams? He said, if you can't effing block for me, you're not going to be on that effing field for me. So if the one thing if what he's really good at right now is blocking, everything else is going to come good for him. So I really do think that they are getting better, and we'll see what happens. But Gilbert, I know you guys are going to talk about this on House of Horns, I think Wednesday probably, but the Rams trade for Titans cornerback Roger McCreary. Obviously, I've got to see him a bunch because the Chargers and the Titans have played each other a lot in the last few years. I think he's a solid corner, Gilbert. Obviously, I thought, and I saw what you kind of wrote about it, I thought they would go for a splash, like maybe a big time. But this is actually a very good signing. I feel like Roger can definitely help this secondary out. And I know it's not a huge name, but I definitely think that this is a very good trade. And one, two, I don't think the Rams are done yet making trades, but I definitely think that this is a good start for them. And I could tell everybody was very antsy. They're like, we have a trade. It's been 12 days since the last trade. And it was obviously Oweh from the Chargers, who's done a pretty good job, Gilbert. 2.5 games so far for the Chargers. He has 2 sacks. So, but I think Roger could definitely bring in some good stuff to the Rams secondary.
Yeah, I kind of don't like this time of year because everybody expects massive trades to occur, and it's going to be like small trades like this one. And for the next 2 weeks, we're going to try to build it up, get clicks, get ratings on TV saying Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, Jeffrey Simmons, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, they're all going to be traded. Probably none of them are going to get traded. So I hate that time of year, but just I'll keep that to myself now. For this trade, yeah, it wasn't a splash trade. It wasn't a sexy trade, but it was a needed trade for the Rams to get some more depth. Honestly, they still need an outside cornerback. Roger McCreary is more of an inside cornerback. He has some experience playing the outside, but so he's kind of like a depth piece, flexibility, and a temporary fix because I know they're hurting at safety. You get to move Quentin Lake back to safety, who's been playing slot cornerback. You put McCreary at the slot, but how do you answer your outside issue? It's not going to be Emmanuel Forbes. It's not going to be Darius Williams. It's not going to be Kobe Durant. Maybe Akilo Witherspoon comes back at the back end of the year from the broken clavicle, but you get depth. And if you make one more splash, not splash, right, one more decent trade for an outside cornerback, now you have flexibility. Now you have real depth here. So it's one of maybe 2 moves here. And the old Rams, I don't think they're coming back. They're not going to trade their extra first-round pick. They're not going to lose a day 2 pick. You need that moving forward. So, yeah.
Darius Williams also got hurt.
Yeah, but he's never good anyways. Regardless, they need help on the outside, and maybe McCreary could do that. I don't know, but part of me is kind of like, what if it calls for L'Jarius Sneed? And I keep saying that because he could play the outside, and it's like, oh, you got a quad injury. Okay, what do you got, Roger McCreary? Let's go look to your fire cell here. Oh, we'll take that guy. Yeah, that's a good depth piece. So this is kind of a good trade to kind of put into perspective of how these trades develop in the next 2 weeks. They're not splashy. They're not, big time names, but they help out in the depth. They help out in the short term. Like the Rams don't want to, they don't want to lose draft picks. What did they give up? They gave up a conditional 5th round pick, and they still get a 6th round pick from the Titans. Like that kind of tells you they don't want to give up a lot of value here. So to me, I gave a B. I couldn't give it an A when you don't have an outside cornerback. For the tight ends, I gave them a C plus only because you only got a sixth round or fifth round pick that's conditional. So to me, it doesn't really do a lot for the Titans. But in the long run, and asking for big trades, Fernando, they need to trade Jeffrey Simmons. Trade Jeffrey Simmons, trade L'Jarius Sneed. If you don't want to trade anybody offensively because you're too worried about Cam Ward's development, I get it. Defensively, you have no reason to keep Jeffrey Simmons around. Go get a second round pick for him, maybe a first round. I don't know about that one. But to me, if you're a Titans fan, I don't know if they're out there. Hopefully, this is the start of a lot of big trades coming up in the next week here because you need draft capital here.
No, I agree. Jeffrey Simmons, I know, is hurt for them because it seems like he's not going to play against the Chargers this weekend. But
Yeah.
I saw some Titans fans they appeared on my social media feed, and they were like, "Oh, so we don't want to defend this weekend against the Chargers. We're just basically mailing it in." And I'm like, dude, there's not much you guys can really do, to be honest, moving forward. I mean, it's been an ugly season for them, and I know that they have their new stadium coming up, and they have to start selling tickets, but we'll see what happens there. Gilbert, obviously, big news coming out of Denver. Let's start off there.
Okay.
Cornerback Patrick Surtain out for 4 to 6 weeks due to
Wow, that's really the timeline?
Huh?
That's really the recovery timeline?
That's what they said. Hold
That's
on,
that's
let
a
me go
long
back.
time. Wow. Okay.
Let me go back. Let me confirm it for you. It is hold on. Oh yeah. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks dealing with a pectoral injury.
Yeah, that's a big hit right there. And I was ready to say some good things about the Broncos too.
That he's going to get a second opinion, but that as of right now, it is a pectoral issue, and that he got another injury. He sustained another injury also during the game, but yeah, so they'll be without their star and their secondary is a little leaky at times. So without him, that's going to be a little bit rough. But Gilbert, let's just go right to it. Denver. Bo Nix, 19 and 29, 247, 4 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins, 15 carries, 111. Troy Franklin, 6 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, Dak Prescott, 19 of 31, 188, 2 interceptions. Milton was the only one that scored a touchdown. Javonte Williams, 13 carries, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pickens and Lamb each had 7 catches for 70. So there was that. But Gilbert, is this more about the Cowboys and the way they just couldn't get anything going? Their defense kind of sucks. Or is this more about the Broncos kind of lighting them up?
Look, I know I've been pretty critical of the Broncos, and I did say if they answer some questions with the Cowboys, I'll give them their credit. So I'll give them their credit before I give you the bad part. Bo Nix for the last 2 weeks, or the last game in a quarter, the fourth quarter was really good against the Giants.
Yeah.
He's been playing great. Like, to say good things about Bo Nix, the way he's been flashing, if he could keep it up, hey, maybe Sean Payton wasn't kind of having the Carnival Barker approach when he told every national reporter, my guy could be a superstar. He is looking like he has a higher ceiling, and I'll give him credit. He's playing great. At the same time, he's playing the Cowboys defense. So again, I'm going to try not to be too negative, but hey, he kept it up for 4 quarters, 5 quarters. There you go, 5 quarters. I'll give him praise for that. And I did say, hey, I'm interested to see if Bo Nix could go, touchdown for touchdown with Dak Prescott, another team that has their flaws, but they could score points. And I know the Broncos defense came to play and they shut down Dak Prescott, and they're like a legit top 5 defense on Sunday. But I bet if the Broncos defense had an off day, Bo Nix would have outlasted Dak Prescott. Like, Bo Nix was playing that well. I think he had a pick in the first drive, and then he had the next 4 out of 5 drives were touchdowns. So, hey, he was lighting up a bad Cowboys defense, but he was doing it. And I think his offense was better than Dak Prescott's. And I was giving a lot of praise to his offense. So to me, a lot of credit to you, Bo Nix. You also look a lot better than Caleb Williams. More credit, Bo Nix here. So if the Broncos defense could play that way, if they get the coaching and the play calling from Sean Payton that they got yesterday, if Bo Nix to keep doing that as a passer and not be so inaccurate, he has good timely downfield shots. He's also mobile. I really like what they have cooking there. J.K. Dobbins has been doing well. They might need a number one wide receiver in the future, but hey, to Bo Nix's credit, he's getting it done. And this is where kind of where the praise stops. It's like, okay, I don't want to be a hater. It's just I need to see more, and I get it. It's week 8 already, and they're 6-2, but you haven't played KC, and you lost to the Colts, you lost to the Chargers. So anytime you had a big boy game in the AFC, credit for being the Eagles. I'll give you the credit for being the Eagles, but in the AFC, you failed every test. So how can I praise you when you haven't played the Chiefs not once yet? You lost to the Chargers already. I'm going to praise the Patriots later on, but you know what the Patriots have that the Broncos don't have? The Patriots beat an AFC rival. They beat the freaking Bills, and they're leading the division.
In Buffalo.
I haven't seen the Broncos do that. So until I see that game in a couple of weeks, I can't jump in. I can't be like, I can't say I was wrong, and I can't say I'm going to jump in. It's just, hey, we're passing questions that I've been having for this team, and I'm giving you the credit. Bo Nix, I like it, but you were playing 2 bad defenses from the NFC East. And I'll say this. What the hell happened to the Giants defense, man? They're starting to, I don't know. That's another topic for another day. But for 5 quarters against the NFC East, Bo Nix lit them up. And that's where I'll end it here. If lightning hits and everything's clicking for this Broncos team, I could see them making noise. It's just I'm not gonna bet on it yet. And call me a hater or whatever you want to do. Until I see them play the Chiefs, I can't bet on them.
I completely agree with you. I mean, it looked like they were playing a flag football game on offense when they were playing against the Cowboys defense. Cowboys defense struggled. I mean, they could not get anything. Like they couldn't sack Bo Nix. They couldn't get to Bo Nix. They how many? Let's see. I have it right here. Let's see how many.
That was just an embarrassing defensive performance.
They only had 1 hit on him and no sacks. And it's not because the Broncos' offensive line is so good. It's just that they're just bad. And then they had a bunch of injuries. The Cowboys did on their defense, so that doesn't help any either. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I still need to see it from Bo Nix. I mean, I know he can beat up on bad teams. Well, even not that bad because they lost to the Jets, but you need to be able to be consistent, and that's the thing. I mean, and they really right now is like kind of the soft part of their schedule from what I've noticed. They go to the Texans after. I think they're on their bye. No, they don't have a bye week yet. They play at Texans. That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a really tough game because of their defense.
But if they beat them, I'm not going to just throw a parade.
No, neither do I. And then the Raiders come there on Thursday night in a short week. The Broncos, the Chiefs come to Arrowhead.
That's a big one, yeah.
Then the Broncos go to the Commanders. Then the Broncos go to the Raiders. The Packers come there.
Oh.
The Jaguars come there. They go to the Chiefs, and then the Wow, that December schedule is pretty tough. You have not the at Raiders. Well, even the at Raiders is going to be tough because
I'm not going to run away with the division. I know people are kind of worried about that right now.
I mean, they're only 1 game ahead, and if they lost the game and the Chargers won it, the Chargers are ahead. So yeah, no, I agree with you. I still need to see it from Bo Nix on some of these bigger teams. Obviously their schedule fell into a third place schedule. So we'll see what they do moving forward. But I like the Broncos defense. I just think their secondary is a little like, I know they have Surtain, and Surtain can lock guys down, but then kind of the other cornerbacks, I know like people were praising, like, I don't know for what reason yesterday. Was it Jim Nantz and Phil Simms? They were like all over Riley Moss, and I'm like, is it because he's a white corner?
Yeah,
like
he gets bumped.
Yeah, I was kind of like, he doesn't do anything all that well. Like he's okay, but they were just like, oh my god, this guy's so special, blah blah blah, and I'm kind of like, and then we haven't really seen
number 2 cornerback.
Well, yeah, but we haven't seen anything from the rookie either from Texas. Yeah, we haven't seen anything from him. So I mean, maybe it'll take him a little bit longer, but. Again, do the Broncos have dogs? They do. They have a lot of dogs on defense. On offense, I still need to see it. I know J.K. Dobbins is a dog. Like, I mean, I've seen it up close and personal. The guy just keeps on going. He's a very good runner, and I'm sure now the Chargers are kind of like shit. Like, if we would have had him and Omari and Hampton, I think we would have been pretty good. But obviously, Naj wasn't that bad for him. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm still not a Broncos believer. We'll see what happens with all that, but not a Broncos believer. Gilbert, on the other side of things, we'll go real quick to Pittsburgh. Gilbert, the Steelers just made a big signing. Marquez Valdez-Scantling
Okay.
returns with Aaron Rodgers. The Packers end up taking it to Rodgers on the final time. Well, allegedly one of the final times that he may see them. Rodgers 24-36, 219, 2 touchdowns. On the other side of things, Jordan Love 29-37, 363 touchdowns. Kraft 7 catches, 143, 2 touchdowns. Gilbert, is this more about the Steelers are frauds or the Packers are that good?
Well, the Steelers have been frauds all year. I've been saying that. I don't care about the Steelers at all. They're a boring team. You know,
Their defense
part of me was
can't
like,
stop anybody.
yeah, I thought that maybe they'll be out there at home. They want to win for Aaron Rodgers, but they rolled over in the second half. That was a pathetic performance there. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it for the Packers. Like I just gave the Broncos credit here for beating the Cowboys, but I can't really find something for the Packers. And I do have one. I think Jordan Love has been handling business against bad teams. It's kind of like Bo Nix playing the Cowboys defense. That's how bad the Steelers defense has been this year. Like let's not pretend these big names are playing well. Jordan Love lit them up with Tucker Kraft on National Tight Ends Day. Did you forget about that, Fernando? National Tight Ends Day.
That's
so
great.
Credit to Jordan Love for doing that. You also had a lot of pressure against your mentor. Maybe there was like, hey, you know what? There's times where quarterbacks want to do too much and they get in trouble. He did not for the most part. He did have a slow start. He bounced back right away. I think Christian Watson gives him another element down the field. So, hey, I'll give credit to Jordan Love here. But again, it's like how much you take away from the Steelers defense. I don't know. This was a really weird week of like, I didn't really learn much here. Like, all I learned was like, okay, the Dolphins are still fighting for Mike McDaniel. Cool. What else we got in week 8? It was just a weird week with a bunch of lopsided games here. So
can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. So we'll get to them. But honestly, I don't even know what to talk about this team here. I'll give them, credit. Every time I write about the contenders of the NFC, I'm always like, yeah, you got to compete with the Rams and the Lions and the Eagles. And I'm like, let me check the standings. Oh, and the Packers. And I always throw them in there last, but I forget about them. But they're 5-1-1. And I don't know. They're probably one of the hardest teams for me to get a pulse on because I'm not buying it right now. I got to see more. They beat the Lions in week 1, but I'm not taking anything from that.
It's incredible to me that yesterday we get the report, the Steelers are thinking about keeping Aaron Rodgers for one more year. And I'm kind of like, Aaron's having a good year. I do admit that. But haven't you noticed what your biggest problem is? Your defense has gotten old. And then you added more old to it in the offseason with Darius Slay, with Jalen Ramsey. Like, your team is very old. Like, your defense is old. They're getting picked apart left and right. Now, let me ask you, like, in 2 weeks, they play the Chargers. Oronde Gadsden, they're going to be looking at that film from, and I'm not saying Oronde Gadsden's anywhere near what Tucker is, but if their exploitation is a tight end, they're just going to make Oronde freaking do exactly what Tucker did. But that's what I mean. Like, I just really think that the Steelers kind of went the wrong way with this. If you were going to have an old quarterback, you should have put a young team around him. The offensive line is young. The weaponry is on the younger side, but then the defense is old. They have a lot of names on that defense that are very, like, I'm sure if you went on the street, if we did one of those Jimmy Kimmel things and you did a man on the street, you'd say, hey, do you know Cam Hayward still plays for and friend of the show, Cam Hayward still plays for the Steelers, and they're still, oh wow, okay. Jalen Ramsey, oh wow, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just got really old and like, even I know I'm gonna piss some people off with this one. JJ Watt hasn't really made an impact this year. TJ, same shit. Neither one of them has made an impact.
But I know where you're going with this. Yeah, I'm with you. And he got paid too this offseason. He got a raise.
That's what I mean. Like, they paid him. He hasn't really done anything. Like the Trey Hendrickson, I get it. It's a 1-year contract. He's going to be a free agent after this year. But on this side, the TJ one, he's still locked in for 3 more years. And I just I haven't seen much from him in the games that I've watched. I mean, Let's see what he's at.
They're gonna
TJ
win 9, 10 games and be one and done and waste
less.
their time again. Like it's what the
No,
Steelers do.
Gilbert. He has 4 sacks. Like Tuli Pelotu got that in one game. I'm not even
Miles
trying
Garrett
to.
got 5 yesterday.
Huh?
Miles
Yeah.
Garrett got
And
5
then he
yesterday.
threw his freaking helmet like he's fed up. Gilbert, there's no way. Listen to this schedule, Gilbert. There's no way they win 10 games now.
Okay.
The Colts come there.
I got like 9, I think.
The Colts come there.
No.
They go to the Chargers.
No.
The Bengals come there.
Yeah, I'll give them. Yeah.
They go to the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bills come to the Steelers. Steelers go to the Ravens. Dolphins come to the Steelers.
Jackson. Yes.
Steelers go to the Lions.
No.
Steelers go to the Browns.
Yeah.
Ravens come to the Steelers.
They'll split. That's 5 more. They'll win 9 games. Yeah.
Yeah. 8 or 9 games.
For a wild card spot, or maybe the division. The division's crap.
No, it might be for the division. But I think what happened is Baltimore
that team.
And let's move over to the other game, the last game, and then we'll bring in Vic, the producer. The other game that I was very impressed with, Gilbert, and not because of anything, but there's been a lot of scrutiny on John Harbaugh. There's been a lot of, well, maybe it's time for him to get fired or to bring in somebody new, and the team fights for him. Now, I think where they completely went wrong, the Ravens, is bringing in Cooper Rush to play quarterback for them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Snoop Huntley should have been the quarterback since the beginning, and you might have won a couple more games. Now, I will say this. I do think that they kind of saved their season with the BS that happened with the Steelers now losing and their schedule kind of looking lame. The freaking, what's it called? The Jets losing to the Jets beating the Bengals. I think that obviously opened the door for the Ravens that are 2-5. They play on a short week Thursday night in Miami. That's going to be an interesting game. I know everybody's probably going to lean Buffalo or Baltimore, but that might be tougher than what people think, especially because Lamar's going to be coming. He hasn't played a game in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We'll see how he does there. But Gilbert, I thought this game really showed fight from Baltimore. They showed grit. They were able to slow down a Bears team that everybody was very excited about. They've won 4 games in a row. They're playing very well. They just beat, what's it called on Monday Night Football? Caleb's looking very good, and his decision-making shouldn't be questioned. Well, where are we at now? I mean, yeah, Caleb got his stats. He stuffed his stats in there, in a sense. Roma Dunze, 7 catches, 114, but they didn't look like that special team that people thought that the Bears were that are supposedly they were looking like. They struggled against a very good Baltimore. I know that Baltimore's defense has caught a lot of flack lately, but I thought they did really well against Buffalo or against Chicago's. I don't know why I keep on bringing up Buffalo. They did really well against Chicago's offense. I mean, to lose to Snoop Huntley, I'm sorry, but like if I'm being honest, to lose to them, like not a very good look. And then all you could muster up was 1 DeAndre Swift touchdown. The other way you got points were 3 Cairo Santos field goals against a team that got the brakes beat off of them by multiple teams. Like you're looking pretty sorry right now if you're Chicago. I mean, there's a lot of questions about both of you or about you with the Ravens. Everybody's saying the same thing. Just wait till Lamar comes back and they'll get going. We don't know that obviously if they will or they're not, but the division's wide open still. But on the other side, everybody's saying, yeah, Chicago's not on the same level as Green Bay or Detroit. And I do agree with that. But just Gilbert, I thought they said more about Chicago and the lack thereof when it comes to the quarterback play. Their defense is kind of taking a hit. I don't know if Chicago's going to make the playoffs, to be honest. They just look very, very weak right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. And before I get to the Bears and sticking to the AFC North, I've been trying to find a spot to say this. For the Carne Asada season preview, the bold prediction that I made was Jets and Patriots are going to have more wins combined than the Steelers and the Bengals. And somehow I'm tied right now with the freaking Jets winning that game. 1+6 from the Patriots, and then 4-3 Bengals and Steelers, 7-7. I don't know how, but shout out to the Patriots for making me look good on that bold prediction there. Still a lot of football to be left to be played, but I just wanted to say that I'm halfway there and I'm pretty close. Anyways, yeah, the Bears still suck. Cheese eating bastard is saying that. Yeah, and again, because I feel like I'm writing the same thing, and it was a weird week where I didn't learn much. I decided to talk about Caleb Williams again, and I'm like, all right, what the hell is going on here with this offense? Because they're not figuring it out like the Broncos and Sean Payton, Drake May and Mike Brable. We saw it last year with Kingsbury and Quinn and Jaden Daniels. What's going on with Caleb Williams? You got your offensive guru Ben Johnson here. They're running the football, and I'm like, I think Caleb doesn't have an identity yet as a quarterback. I don't think Ben Johnson has figured out what does Caleb want to do, what makes him comfortable, what are his strengths here, and there's a lot there with his skill set. I'm always going to credit that he has a versatile skill set, but that's the problem even for the coach now. Like, okay, what can we do here? And I thought for a second they had something cooking with him being an efficient game manager. People always think game manager is a diss here, but for a guy who likes to do too much, maybe it's okay to be a game manager and lean on the running the football. They're running the football well with Kabunaga. I think I got his name right. DeAndre Swift, and then some shots here for Roma Dunze and DJ Moore, and that was working for this winning streak here. And then the Saints game came, and he was trying to do more. Maybe it was a whole Spencer Rattler matchup. Maybe it was a bad defense where he thought he could pick him apart. He couldn't throw. He wasn't good in the pocket. And then they fall behind against Tyler Huntley here, and they ask him to throw more. And he has that game still within reach and throws an ugly interception in his own territory. Derrick Henry touchdown. Game over. And I start thinking, okay, when he's the game manager, he's supposed to be efficient. He's not good at that because when he operates in the pocket, he's not a quick reactor and he's not making quick decisions. I won't criticize him for not being able to read defenses. I'm not one of these guys who likes to watch tape and pretend I know what is going through people's minds. Oh, yeah, he's a slow reactor. How the hell do you know? How do you know he can't read the defense? So that's kind of my thing with tape grinders. But it's obvious he doesn't make a decision. And when you're an efficient game manager, boom, 1 read, 2 reads, get the ball out, move on, run the football. He can't do that. He just kind of has his slow processor where he doesn't know what to do. And then when he wants to be quicker with the ball, interception, fumble, bad sack. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. If it's a coaching problem, is it the Caleb problem? They don't know what his bread and butter is. They don't know what he does well. They don't have an identity. To me, until he figures that out, they're not going to be a playoff team. I'm kind of tired of talking about it, but he hasn't done anything for me to say, wow, look at Caleb. Bo Nix did it this past 2 weeks here. Jaden Daniels has done it. Obviously, Drake May has done it. Michael Penix Jr. not really sometimes. JJ McCarthy hasn't played. But Caleb Williams is starting to fall behind of this. We're always going to review him this way, right? Fernando, 2024.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams number 4 now. Is that where we've gotten here? Like, it's just he hasn't done anything great.
Yeah, no. Freaking cheesy. It's funny. I do have what's it called? I do have video from practice of him yelling at what's his name?
Ben Johnson?
Caleb Williams.
Oh.
Here you go.
And I got half a mind to find your old man and kick him in the nuts so hard he can never foul the earth with another little shit like you. So you
I hope Ben Johnson's talking like that.
That's yeah. So that's from the obviously
after the
2005 Bad News Bears. What?
Yeah. After the rumors of him trying to go to Minnesota, if I was one of the coaches, I would say the same thing.
But like, I what's funny? I had wondered in the offseason, and I had talked about it with Dan, but I'm like, nah, his ego's too big. I thought Ben Johnson. Cliff Kingsbury was already with the. I thought about maybe if they would have hired Cliff Kingsbury from Washington, if that would have helped somebody that knows Caleb, somebody that's been with Caleb, but obviously that just didn't materialize. But and I mean, who knows if he would have because it seems like he's treating Caleb like an adult. What's his name? Ben Johnson, because he screamed at him, kicked him out of practice. He's done a bunch of stuff like that, and that's kind of what Caleb needs. But I don't know. It's interesting to see the way that this whole dynamic's going. But real quick, your thoughts, Jets, Bengals.
Nice win for the Jets. I think on the day that we found out that Nick Mangold passed away,
Yeah.
to get that victory was very fitting. So other than that, I know you want me to go here. I'm really tired about the Bengals. I do care more about the Jets winning as their first victory, but the Bengals, like, I got to tell you guys again, like, I don't care if it's Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow, who's another famous Joe. No one's gonna save this Bengals team. Not when you have an atrocious defense like that. Like, put it this way, Fernando. Now you're getting me going. On a day where the running game was going, on a day where the offense was scoring points. Yeah, let me talk to you. Still, the defense allows 500 total yards to the Jets, who were 0-7. Still, the defense comes into your house, Cincinnati, and drops 39 points. The team that just benched Justin Fields a week ago because he was horrendous lit you up. Brees Hall went off. The guy in the trade rumors. Like, a team that doesn't. Is Garrett Wilson back? I lost track. Like, how do you lose that game and drop that many yards? So go back, put the fork in them. I don't care. This team is wasting my time. I don't care that Joe Flacco went off on the Steelers from all teams in prime time. That's why I blame you, Steelers, for bringing back the stupid Bengals narrative that they're going to come back and it's going to be well. No, this team's going to lose 9 games, 10 games. Would that be enough for a wild card spot? Maybe they win the division. Hey, am I getting to the point where I'm begging the Ravens to wake up and win it because I don't want to see the Steelers and I don't want to see the Bengals? I don't want to do that, but maybe I have to. I'm tired of you guys. Trade Trey Hendrickson. Please trade him. You're not going to do anything with that defense. You're not going to do anything, especially without Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco's hurt too right now. 40-year-old quarterback. Good luck. You're what, 3-5? Get out of my life.
Broncos country. That's right.
That's very well said. I couldn't have said
500
it better
yards
myself.
from the Jets.
Dude, Justin Fields 21 of 31, 244, 1 touchdown. Brees Hall 18 carries, 133, 2 touchdowns. Did you see Brees Hall? He was on Twitter and he put a laughing emoji on a video of the Bengals defense. Like, somebody said, "Oh, the Bengals defense is shit" or whatever, and he put a laughing emoji. Like, what more do you need there than to know that it's embarrassing? But that's why they're not going to. That's why, Gilbert, before the season started, I told everybody, or I said on this show, I don't see the Bengals making the playoffs. They don't have that defense that they went to the Super Bowl with because they traded it in for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and all these, and Joe Burrow himself, to pay them all that money. And then that's when it all went to crap for them. So I don't believe in the Bengals at all. I think this, and you know what's funny? I bet you Bengals fans, oh my God, I bet you Bengals fans were excited and they were like, you know what? We're going to beat the Jets today. Then the Steelers are going to lose to the cheese-eating bastards Packers. And that's it. We're going to be right in there for the AFC North. You take the L to the Jets. The other thing does happen. The Packers end up beating the Steelers, beating them down. And now the Ravens and they probably thought that the Chicago Bears were going to go in there and they were going to thank the NFC North for putting them back into contention.
Watch the Bengals beat the Bears and now, oh, here we go. They're back again. I'm going to hate it.
Oh, and that's the kind of roller coaster we're all going to be on. So, yeah, no, I just don't. I'm completely done with the Bengals.
People don't want to hear from them. With this team for whatever reason.
For some reason. All right, let us bring in now Vic and see how he is doing. Vic, how are you doing?
Doing good. That was a good discussion there.
It was a boring weekend.
We even heard a high register from Gilbert there, not when he was going on about the Bengals. That's how much.
Check your pulse. Check your pulse.
Yeah.
Save it for the World Series, Vic. I gotta.
Yeah.
What time's that game on? 5 p.m. I think.
It's about to start. We got about 2 minutes here.
Yeah,
but,
you're gonna be talking like this the whole time watching TV.
Yeah.
His neck's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
He's gonna come on tomorrow like this.
I know. I'm gonna be like this the whole time. All right, guys. Let's get to some fact or fiction here. With some of the stories that Gilbert wrote about. Let's start off with the first one, which I thought was really interesting. And it starts off with Tua. So I'll start off with you here, Gilbert. Did Tua save Mike McDaniel's job or can Tua save Mike McDaniel's job with a strong finish, or is he cooked either way?
Yeah. So I know you read my story, and Yeah, leave it to Tua to have his best game after I wrote that they should bench him. He has 4 touchdowns a couple days later. And I said, bench the guy for Quinn Ewers, Zach Wilson. I don't give a crap. Just bench the guy. He's been that bad. Hey, to his credit, he answered the call. Maybe he had my story printed out and put it up on his wall. And then he woke up the next day. He only saw it from the right eye, not the left eye. And like, okay, this guy, Gilberto Manzano, he's terrible. 4 touchdowns on those Falcons. And I did say, don't trust the Falcons. I don't know how much, credit I want to give the Dolphins there. But the more I think about it, Vic, the more I feel like the owner is not going to bench Tua because all the money they committed to him. He's still owed $54 million next year. So after the 2026 season, it makes more sense. Now, as for Mike McDaniel, I think they're going to give him the rest of the year. I don't know if he's going to save his job entirely, but to buy himself more time for the rest of the year, I could see that. And the only way he could save his job are 2 things, or actually 1 thing. If you get any quarterback, Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers, or Tua, to be competent in your scheme, that's the only way to save his job. Because what's the value that the Mike McDaniel has? He's not a leader of men. He's not a defensive guru. He's not. His knowledge is offense. If you can't run that properly, what the hell are you here for? Like, I remember the Kyle Shanahan early years where they couldn't win anything. He was kept around because that scheme is too valuable. They're going to figure it out. Brian Dable kind of has that to an extent, but that's running out right now too. So what do you have with Mike McDaniel? So if Tua was able to do what he did on Sunday, maybe they're like, you know what? These guys are connected at a hip here. We can't get rid of the guy until 2026 or after 2026. Let's give him 1 more year. I doubt it. I don't see that. Regardless, they have to play efficient offensive football because they haven't been doing it ever since they gave Tua that contract, which looks really bad. Are you going to trade Jalen Waddle? If you do, good luck trying to have a good scheme without Waddle. So to me, it just really opens the door for Mike McDaniel to save his job some way, somehow. But the more I think about it, it's gonna be 1 good game, and that's it. We've seen Tua enough to know he doesn't do it for 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
There's oh my
Go
God,
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say you up here just with the owner and the whole situation. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it sounds like there's like a succession plan that is kind of going in the wrong way here, where the owner wanted to leave the team to his daughter, but then he hires a dude, and then he ended up hooking up, kind of like what we've seen with Triple H and the WWE.
I didn't know that.
Kind of going on there with that. So, like, what do you see happening here, Fernando? Do you think he just keeps it, or keeps Mike McDaniel just because he's trying to figure out the succession plan, or is it just like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna just do whatever's best for the team going forward?
I think you have a chance to start over now. If they keep on losing and they have like a top 10 draft pick, there's a lot you can do with that. But why would you leave that to a head coach who you feel like is kind of dead in the water? I mean, you kind of seen what's happened where Jalen Ramsey didn't respect him. Some of the older players haven't respected his style. He's a little weird. I mean, I kind of asked one of the Dolphins guys, and I asked him, I'm like, what is it about him? He's like, one day he comes in and he's like, oh, somebody asked him, what are you so happy about? It's like, we're 1 step closer to death. Like, he's just a weird, quirky, weird freaking guy. And the results haven't shown up. I mean, besides that 1 year where they made the playoffs and they went to that Freezer Bowl in Kansas City, they haven't really done much else. I mean, I know everybody got excited when they put up 70 on the Denver Broncos, but ever since then, it's kind of been a sharp decline. I think what Mike McDaniel is I really think he's a Norv Turner, where he's going to be a good offensive coordinator, a great offensive mind. He's just not a good head coach. And the thing is that, and obviously Gilbert and I saw this firsthand, is that when you ascend to the level of Jedi, when you ascend to the level of master, when you ascend to a head coach, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be in every single meeting room, not just on the offensive side of things, not just in the quarterback room. Like, you're supposed to be everywhere and making sure that you're checking in on every single aspect of this team. That's why, and I there was a couple of practices during training camp where I watched what Jim would do. Jim would go stand with the offense. Jim would go stand with the defense. And during special teams, where I've seen in the past, head coaches would walk over and just be talking to the offensive coordinator or be talking to the quarterback. He would go over to the special teams and watch special teams. So when you see stuff like that, I remember Anthony Lynn was like that as well. But when you see stuff like that, I mean, that you have to be a guy like that. And who knows if Mike McDaniel is. But I think this is an opportunity where, especially if you get rid of Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, that means that you're going to start over and you're looking for something new. Now, obviously, nobody's going to take Tua on or that contract. So you're kind of screwed when it comes to that. But there's an opportunity there to kind of start over fresh, bring in a new offensive mind or bring in a new defensive mind or bring in a new head coach. I did read that they are thinking about giving Anthony Weaver. They want to give him a shot and see what he's like. But I'm kind of like, okay, I get that. But aren't you just kind of fixing the Band-Aid? Like, Anthony's already been here. You put him as your interim. I've seen it before with Romeo Crennel. I think he was with the Chiefs. Romeo Crennel, either he was with the Chiefs or the Texans. Did really well. They made the playoffs. They kept him as the head coach, or they promoted him to head coach. And after 1 year, they fired him because it wasn't good. The thing is that once you fire a head coach, the guys in the locker room get animated. They get amped. Remember when the Chargers fired Brandon Staley, the Chargers were very competitive at the end of that year, and it was Easton Stick at quarterback. They were very competitive for oh my God, Gus. No, what's his name? The defensive line coach, Gilbert from the Chargers. Give Smith. They were very competitive for Give Smith, and they played very hard.
Did you notice how it wasn't Kellen Moore? Like the guys who have a real shot of being a head coach, they're not taking an interim role because interim roles are setting you up for disaster. You're the guy who couldn't get it going in 4 games. So yeah, Kellen Moore is a head coach now for a reason. He did not take that job.
Yeah, that was very smart of him. But again, going back to it, I just think they need to start off new or fresh. I think they should just axe it, and I'm sure Mike McDaniel is going to be a very hot commodity as a free agent offensive coordinator. I don't know if he'd get another head coaching opportunity, but I do think that they need to start over. I don't think Tua can save his job. I think they're at the point of no return right now.
Yeah, and that's what it sounds like. I think we'll probably see them start over. All right, guys. Since we've already talked about the Patriots, I'll save that one for tomorrow. But I did want to ask you guys, just so we go fast here, what will be the biggest name that gets traded before the trade deadline? I'll start off with you here, Fernando. Or do you have one, Gilbert?
I do. Like, I just wrote a story about the top 15 trade deadline players, and half of them won't get traded. I hated writing that, but I had to really specify and I'll say I'll go on a rant because I really hate all the reports. Like, there's a lot of things I hate about this time of year. There's a lot of reports saying Max Crosby won't get traded, Jeffrey Simmons won't get traded. Oh, they're not going to trade that guy. Shut the hell up. Like, you're just trying to create a bidding war for these owners who are saying like, hey, like we're not going to trade him, but if you come for the right price, 2 first-round picks. Oh, you saw the report. You know what? We'll change our mind now. Yeah, Jerry Jones. We're not gonna trade Micah Parsons. Who got traded? Micah freaking Parsons. So enough with carrying their water here for starting a bidding war. I hate all these reports. If I'm a GM owner, I'm like, I don't give a crap what freaking Mark Davis and Max Crosby think. I'm the Detroit Lions. You grew up in Michigan. Do you want to come here or not? You want to play real football? You want to be in a winning team? Here's a first-round pick. You need to take the first-round pick because your team suck. You've made the playoffs twice in 25 years. Shut the hell up and trade the guy. I'm so tired of these teams. Mickey Loomis too. Trade the guys, or you have 5 guys who could give you a bunch of draft picks and you won't do it. And you want to just, try out Tyler Shuck with a bad roster. This roster hasn't done anything since Drew Brees left, and you won't trade the guys. So I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna gamble and say it's Chris Olave who gets traded. It won't be Trey Henderson. It won't be Max Crosby. It won't be Jefferson Simmons. It won't be Jalen Waddle. Maybe Rashid Shaheed. Saints. Come on, look in the mirror. You got Raheem Shaheed, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Carl Granderson, Chase Young, Alante Taylor, DeMario Davis. Trade all these freaking guys here. So, to me, pick up the phone, GMs. Hound, harass, whatever you want to do with these losing teams or just holding these guys here hostage for whatever reason. I'm gonna bet and say Chris Olave, speedy playmaker. But if he's not the big name, it might be Jacoby Myers, Jacoby Myers might be a better fit because he could block and catch, but Olave is more talented as a pass catcher. So if you want a big name, I'm going to go Olave. Sorry.
All right, Fernando.
He stole mine. I was going to go
sorry.
No, I was going to go with Jacoby Myers.
I got 2 there.
I just don't see like what. I just
make a case for Trey. He needs to get traded too.
Yeah, but I don't see them trading him.
Yeah,
and then you look. Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks. Like I don't know. Mark Andrews, I don't think gets traded. I'm looking at a thing right now. Alontae Taylor from the New Orleans Saints. You know what? I'll say Bradley Chubb gets traded. That's my name. I'll go Bradley Chubb. I think people need pass rushers, obviously, and I think Bradley Chubb is going to be one of those guys that's traded. I know Bradley Chubb hasn't been a huge name since he went down to Miami, but I still think that he can be a playmaker and he could be a good second or third option.
He went for a first-round pick, so from the Broncos. So, all right, one last one, and I just give me a team here. One contender that needs to make multiple trades before the trade deadline.
The Colts. I think the Colts defense is very rough. I think even if they get Ward back and they get some of their guys back, I still think that they need another corner there with them. Maybe they're the ones that could bring in Alontae Taylor. But I definitely think that the Colts need to make one or two trades to help that defense. On the other side, I mean, I was going to say the Chargers, but I don't consider them Super Bowl contenders yet. But I do think that they need to make one or two trades, or they need to make two or three, two trades to kind of help themselves out at running back. And I definitely think they either need, I think they need another defensive lineman, which is going to be hard to get. But yeah, I would put those two teams. I just had to give you two because Gilbert always gives you two.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I went
Gilbert,
Chargers and Colts.
You're batting last year. Let's go. Close it out.
Yeah, I'll go with the Lions. After all the injuries that occurred last year and they fell short, don't make the same mistake again. Go all in. I get Max Crosby doesn't want to leave Las Vegas, and the Raiders don't want to trade him from Las Vegas. But go get the edge rusher who grew up in Michigan. He's going to change his mind once you get there and you're actually winning games. He's going to change his mind and it'll be fine. Go give a first round pick. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, give a first round pick. Go all in. This is a roster to do it. Go ahead and do it. And then maybe get Alontae Taylor to help out the secondary. I don't know. You mentioned Rick Woolen. He gets burned too much, but get another cornerback to help out because you're banged up there. Go all in. And the other one, I'll just say Rams because they need an outside cornerback. And, I'm not saying trade one of your first round picks, but this roster is good enough to go all in. So pretend you're the old, less need of old, and go get a cornerback to actually help you out on the perimeter.
Is that it? Corner?
Yeah, get a bunch of secondary help. Get two. I don't care. They're not good in the secondary.
You can always get extra help. All right, Fernando, close us out.
You already did.
Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Freaking Gilbert.
Oh, that kind of close out.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate everybody so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow at 5:30 with, almost in about an hour or 24 hours. We'll be back with the Four Compas show. We'll be talking about, I got to ask Gilbert. You guys remember, we talk about it. It's every four. The season is cut up into fours. So for the first 4 weeks, Gilbert forked some teams. Is he forking the same? Is he going to keep his fork or is he unforking? And some of these other teams, is he forking them? So tomorrow will be very interesting. Vic also will give us 10 trades. Are we buying or are we thumbs upping or thumbs downing? So make sure you guys tune in. And tomorrow on the show, you guys will also hear this.
Oh,
Dan, the original Dan will be back tomorrow. I spoke to him. He said, okay, I'm ready to get it going. Last week was a rough week for him.
Mental health is back.
No, not mental health. He's one of the strongest people I know. So he's ready to come back. He's excited. And he's excited because a certain individual didn't do very well on his pick. So every Sunday for Dan is like Christmas when Vic sends a certain text updating everybody on the Pick'ems challenge. So make sure you guys tune in.
I give his life some clarity and I boost up his confidence and boost up his mental health with my bad picks. I'm all for it, man.
Oh yeah. So make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget 5:30 tomorrow. Appreciate everybody. Gilbert, get us out of here.
Yeah. Remember, there's only one more week left until the stupid, annoying trade deadline. It comes and goes. I hate it. But I'll stop being the grumpy guy. Enjoy World Series. Enjoy this whatever game we got tonight. Commanders without Jaden Daniels and the Chiefs. But it's time to get going. See you tomorrow. ¿Qué pasó?
Enjoy Monday Night Raw.
And Monday Night Raw, which is actually an